Hello, what is up? This is Postdoc Chronicles week number 91. And yeah, I almost forgot I didn't post Postdoc Chronicles last week. I thought I already did one, but yeah, so let's do a quick update. But before that, I'm actually currently playing on my Nintendo 3DS Metroid Samus Return. So if you're familiar with this one, it's like the remake of Metroid 2 on the Game Boy Color, and it's really very good. I'm stuck on a boss, but yeah. So if you haven't played the Metroid, at least the 2D Metroid, it's like the Metroid half of the Metroidvania genre. There's like a huge maze complex that you need to explore, and then some of them are still locked unless you get additional abilities. Like in Samus's case, become morphs she morphs into a ball, or she acquires a double jump, or she acquires a missile that can destroy certain doors. But it's the boss fights are really very amazing. They have this parry mechanic, like if the enemy attacks you and then you time it right, it's almost always the case that you can never be hit. But yeah, it's so far it's challenging. I'm stuck in a boss where he goes into these different phases, and then he has a third phase. I don't know if it's the last phase. I couldn't figure out how to beat it, so I'm still trying to figure it out. Eventually, if I can't, then I'm gonna search it online. But I want to hold that off as much as possible, because you rob yourself of the enjoyment of the game if you just search how to beat a certain boss. But anyway, enough with that. So for last week, I most of the time I joined the Pheno 2020. So this is like a 3 day conference. Also the first online conference that I participated. Supposed to be in the University of Pittsburgh, but basically it's a conference on phenomenology. Various results regarding dark matter beyond standard model physics, new results from the LHC, axions, neutrinos, top Higgs physics, and all that. And yeah, so you got their top luminaries. Like for example, I saw in there Andrew Ringwald perform. Basically, he was like the editor of my first paper in high energy physics in physics letters B. I also saw Susan Westkoff. And I know this woman because when we're doing our multi Higgs project, when we were doing the planning stage, they uploaded on the archive a search for multi Higgs with with a similar idea as ours. And after we saw that, we had to evade the benchmark points that they considered. And also, there's this guy, Stephen Martin, the Stephen Martin of Susi fame. And I know this guy because he's basically the guy who wrote the supersymmetry primer, which you can find in archive, like a very thorough introduction to supersymmetry, and it's very well written. So all these guys performed, and I think it went on for like around 3 days, and yeah, it was really good. My first online conference. We did it via Zoom, and then after each talk, there's gonna be like another Zoom room where you can discuss if you have some questions and stuff. Yeah, but anyway, going to my postdoc stuff very quickly. So my QT. So I am now preparing the slides so that I can show them to Deepak, and then eventually we will now do my first ever progress report on my QT project. But so far, Deepak asked me to add some W and top samples on my validations between 8.244 and 8.301 versions of PIFIA. So I did a lot of standard model samples, but I just noticed I lack W and top samples. And also, so last Postdoc Chronicles, I told you that in the checkmate validation, Jong gave me a search which we thought wasn't implemented in checkmate, but then when I looked again, it was already there. So it was actually Stau direct production. But then this time Jong gave me another search. This time it's S bottom, and I looked, I had to check, and I can verify that it's not really implemented in checkmate. However, this time Jong gave me actually the Stau before, because it was relatively easier for my first ever validation. But this time the S bottom, when I read it, I think it's gonna be a bit longer because first of all, it has more signal regions to consider. I believe there are like 10 signal regions to consider, as opposed to I believe around 4 only for the style. So I'm doing that right now. I made the initial setup. However, the easy thing about this S bottom search in particular is, if you look at the HEP data, there's an existing pseudocode on the particular cuts that Atlas made, and also there's also a spectrum file, existing spectrum file for the particular benchmark points that they looked at. So it's simply when I generate the signal samples eventually, it's just a matter of copying the spectrum files to the math graph that I'll be running, and then studying the pseudocode, the logic of the pseudocode, and then translating it to the language that is being used by Checkmate when you implement the searches. Okay, but anyway, yeah, that's my update for my Post Chronicles week number 91, and hopefully I can upload the 92 on a Friday. Because I typically upload on a Friday. I just forgot for this one. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. I need to comb my hair. Bye bye.